Well, believe it now, motherfucker.
Hey guys, welcome to Podcast versus Players. Can you believe it? I'm Carl. That young man is Dan.
Hello.
Are you ready for some weird news?
Hit me.
Basically, if you didn't catch our last Can You Believe It, I read Dan 3 lots of weird news. One of them is false and untrue. Dan has to decide which one it is. Dan won last time.
I did.
He got it right. He's a little crafty bastard. This man knows his poo.
I do.
So, without further ado, our first news story. A woman steals her own car with a man on the roof. A Kansas City woman who allegedly fled from an auto repair shop with an employee clinging to the roof of her vehicle has been charged in connection with taking the vehicle without paying for repairs. Monica L. Franklin, 44, went to the garage at 24th Street and Indiana Avenue on Monday to check on repairs to her 2006 Cadillac Escalade. Stupid name for a car.
Yeah.
She asked an employee to move the vehicle outside so she could see it in the light. The employer later told police he pulled the vehicle outside, but when he got out, Franklin got in and started to drive away without paying a $3,600 repair bill. The employee tried to stop her, first by jumping on the running board and then by crawling onto the roof. Franklin continued driving and pulled into Interstate 70. Other shop employees caught up with her in another vehicle, and one fired shots at the vehicle. She later drove to police headquarters downtown, where officers were contacted. Franklin allegedly told police she took the vehicle because she disagreed with the amount being charged and was unhappy with the work quality. The employee who allegedly fired shots was also arrested and later released from custody, pending further investigation.
So they shot at her?
Yeah.
Did they have to repair the damage?
She stole it. They might have done. So she stole her own car with a man on the roof, was shot at and drove to the police station.
Right, okay. I kind of... If she said, well, that's outrageous, I'm not paying $3,600, whatever it was, for, you know, you've just fixed a bit of bodywork or whatever the problem was. I'm sure it was overpriced, whatever it was. He then proceeded to jump on top of the car.
Yeah.
Now, whether she noticed or not, I assume you probably noticed someone on the roof, but if we work on the fact that she didn't, she just drove off, and then all of a sudden she's getting shot at. What about if they'd, you know, burst a tyre or punctured something in the engine or shot her?
What if they missed and shot someone else?
Exactly. I think they're completely in the wrong there.
The firing, completely.
I can just see them in the back of a pickup truck with shotguns, just like... just some horrible film. Just, woo! Woo! And, you know, she's just weaving between... Everyone. Yeah, exactly. And it's just cars just getting dinged with bullets. And, I mean... I can only hope that there wasn't anyone around when they were doing this, or they were so close they knew that they couldn't miss. But either way, they were firing at someone. They should have all been arrested.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she should have obviously been forced to pay the bill. But yeah, okay, that's number one. All right.
That's number one, Dan.
Go for it.
The Santa thief strikes. A man was arrested in Toronto, Canada on Christmas Eve after witnesses placed the man at various crime scenes throughout the night. The man in question was dressed as Santa and, as you guessed it, was breaking into people's homes. But instead of leaving gifts for young Canadians, the man, identified as Mark Flanagan, was instead opening various presents, seeking out valuable electronic gifts such as PlayStation 4s, Xbox One, iPods and such like, replacing them with slightly worse gifts. Bricks, old trainers and half-used stationery razors to be precise. Flanagan was caught red-handed at one of his stops, where police officers opened his sack. They had stolen electronics. The sack had stolen electronics as well as decoy Christmas gifts inside. Police managed to return the majority of the gifts to residents, with a few still to be claimed.
Okay. Question. Why was he dressed as Santa?
I imagine because it's Christmas Eve, breaking into people's houses.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't make it any
If someone is in
better.
your house dressed as Darth Vader, it makes no difference. You go, obviously you're not Santa. What are you doing in my house? The fact that he was dressed up as Santa Claus, maybe it just made sense in his mind, and he was just like, well, if someone comes downstairs, they're like, oh shit, Santa, quick, go back upstairs, go. It makes no sense. It is idiot logic.
That is ridiculous.
The fact that he was caught as well, it's like, what does it look like, Santa? Oh right, he's over there.
That's what got me, because it's like, well, it's not hard to spot. The only thing I can think of is if, say, he'd been watching some places, and, like, say, the dad had gone out, and then he came back, maybe on the pretense that they'd think it was, like, the dad dressed up as Santa.
I can only think of, sort of going between houses. People would go, oh, it's just neat, it's Christmas Eve. He's just dressed up because he's going somewhere to, to his kid or whatever, dressed as Santa.
Yeah.
So the only thing I can think of it making any difference on is actually sort of getting between the houses, or like if he was sort of, or maybe targeting the houses that didn't have anyone in there. So if anyone looked in, it would just look like someone who was living there messing around as Santa.
Yeah.
But I don't know as to whether he thought that or if he just thought, well, no, if kids come downstairs, they'll think it's Santa and they won't grass me up. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Which kind of makes sense.
I guess, to a degree. But number 3, go for it.
Woman grows metal wires from her body. A 40-year-old kindergarten teacher in Sangata, East Kutamade, has made local and global headlines for having a condition of growing metal wires that are about 10 to 20 centimetres long from her body. At first, people just assumed it was only self-inflicted and she may be looking for attention. But all of these assumptions were dropped when some doctors have given up further support for their own medical theories about her condition. The woman has been suffering from this eerie condition for about 17 years and is still being investigated by the Ministry of Health. Early diagnosis showed the wires truly come from inside of her body, and up to this day her condition remains to be idiopathic or unknown.
So she's literally growing metal?
Yeah.
How?
Nobody knows.
Right. Then people are stupid. You can't just grow metal. There's not enough metal in your body in order to grow metal. Unless she was eating nothing but staples or just chewing on cars or something. And plus, your body doesn't mistake metal for like hair or something, and then it would just grow.
Would she not get some kind of like metal kind of poisoning?
I guess. I mean, you're more likely that it would just reject it and just end up pushing it out, which I suppose you could simulate growing. Say, well, it was this far before and now it's this far.
Yeah,
and
so
if she pushed it in, but it's just her body pushing it back out again. I mean, I'd have to look more into something like that before I could, make a possibly logical sort of conclusion from it. But people just don't grow. I'm pretty sure it'd be bigger news than It's just like woman is turned into a robot.
It does go on to say. Witchcraft and curses and shit, but she's still under meticulous investigation by 4 medical specialists using several methods of treating her. They've encountered creepy scenarios such as seeing how the metal wires grow inside of her body through x-rays, and a mystery tidbit is that there's no trace of tetanus on said wires, so she isn't actually getting affected by them. Infected by them, sorry.
Yeah, those x-rays I'd want to see, definitely.
So that's it though.
Because I mean, assuming that your body would sort of be growing them, they'd have to have some kind of root thing, where the metal's actually getting attached to it.
They'd have to come from somewhere.
But I'm pretty sure that say if you had like too much metal in your system, it would just be excreted either through your sweat pores, or you'd shit it out, or you piss it out, or it would affect things like your kidneys and you'd have kidney failure. So the fact that it's just growing out in strips, I don't know. I think that's quite bizarre. But bizarre enough to not be true. That's the question.
Yes, Dan, you now have the ultimate task. You are the taskmaster.
So one of these is one you've made up.
I have made up one of these stories. 2 of them are completely true. 1 is false. You have to decipher, read between the lines.
Okay,
figure it out.
I'm going to say that someone like growing metal out of themselves is the sort of thing that like Bizarre and stuff they pick up on, because it's just a funny, interesting story from around the world.
Dan was in Bizarre once.
Twice
actually.
Yeah, twice. Yeah. But not for growing things out of myself.
Unfortunately not. You could have been this woman from Sangata.
I could have been if I'd have just stuck some coat hangers in myself and just went, oh god, they're growing. So yeah, I mean, that's it. It's sort of beyond belief, but it's not. Was this in America by any chance?
Sangata.
Where's that?
East Kutamade.
Where the fuck's that?
I'm guessing it's like India or something.
Right,
Maybe.
okay.
I'm not really good at geography.
Okay, well, depending on what the situation with that story is, I'll look at where that is. Because if it's just somewhere, out of the way in backwater, especially in places like India and stuff as well, they obviously worship people with deformities, and they're obviously treated very well compared to sort of in the Western world where they're more sort of ridiculed and discriminated against. So something like that, I'm more inclined to say that they'd be interested and respectful of it rather than just criticise and try and disprove it.
Yeah.
So I would say it would be possible that, not that it would happen, but if it did, people would be more, they'd be more receptive to it, and they'd say, well, we're not going to try and disprove it, we're just going to accept it, and that's brilliant, Christmas robber is stupid, and again, it's possible by sort of idiot robber logic, by just saying, like, there was a guy I heard somewhere, I think it was on like QI or something, so I'm assuming it's true, that he, someone basically told him that a trick for invisible ink is to use lemon juice, and then you shine it under a certain light or heat it or whatever it is, and then that would reveal whatever was written in the lemon juice. And he went to rob a bank or rob a post office or a shop or whatever, and they caught him straight away because he was on the CCTV, and he said, "How did you see me? I had lemon juice all over my face." So he thought, by that same idiot logic, he thought that just by putting that lemon juice on him, he would become invisible, right? As if that's something that everyone would go, "Oh shit, that's so simple. How would we not think of that?
How have we not been invisible this whole time?"
Yeah, just like, where have my pancakes gone? Where's my pie?
yeah, so, imagine that on pancake day.
Yeah, just like, oh, for fuck's sake, the pancakes have gone again. So that and the Santa thing, that, because they're so stupid, and you just think, well, I can see your logic, but it's stupid logic. But that, again, that kind of makes sense to him. And then the car driving off and people shooting at him. Again, that sounds like something that could happen in a horrible way. To sort of think, well, it's more than. I'm sure that people have just gone, your estimation of this is bullshit. I'm having my car, and I'm never speaking to you people again. And then them chasing them down and shooting at her. Again, that is something that's equally as ridiculous.
But a problem with a lot of them. I've got theories for all of these, and I'm not going to say any of them because I don't want to push your thingy onto them. But I have actually got a thing about one of them that I do want to say.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, taking everything into consideration, I'm going to say the Santa Claus robbery is the false one.
So you're going for the Santa Claus robber,
Mr. Flanagan. Yeah.
Dan, you've made a terrible judgment.
Oh.
You're correct!
Yeah! I'm the best.
You've got it again.
Woo! Okay.
Oh, you're good at this.
I am. I'm a detective, don't you know?
Anyway, we're going to go.
We're going to go.
Thank you for listening. Check out the website.
Calbot 3000.
I love you, Stephen. Check out the website, www.podcastversusplayer.com or podcastversusplayer.co.uk. Check us out at Twitter, which is at podcastvplayer. You can email us if you like. What is our email, Dan?
It's podcast. Shit, no,
it's not at all, is it?
No, it's not. And I knew it in my head, and then I still said the wrong thing. It's playerthepodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, Dan set the email up. You could tell it's the wrong name.
Shut up.
We got tons of content this year.
Absolutely.
That we didn't do last year.
Welcome to 2015, the catch-up of 2014.
But yeah, so check us out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want, which is youtube.com/podcastversusplayer. You can follow us on Twitter. You can sneak into our room and tickle our balls if you want.
I prefer it.
I would. It'd be more convenient if we shared a room.
I would really like it if I just woke up sort of bleary-eyed in the middle of the night and there was just some random guy there just went, I really like that video, fistful of frags. Thanks mate.
I know I wouldn't because it's such a shit game.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, because people are sneaking into your room. But
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
anyway, bye. End of. Finn.
End of. Bye.
Bye.
Well, believe it now, motherfucker.